said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy... Flyover State of Fear.
Welcome to the Flyover State of Fear. That's right, this is in film Halloween draft. I got TJ, Yusuf, and Brian, or should I say a pug, Jeffrey Dahmer and Dracula with me. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How about you boys?
Good. This is actually a Fear episode. Special, and for anyone that is wondering, it is a draft. The four of us will be drafting our top 5 associated movies with Halloween films, right? And like any draft, as if it's like fantasy football or baseball or whatever, once one's off the board, it's off the board. We can't pick it.
Yeah, Brian gets that. He plays that all the time.
And
big sport.
And it include, we include it doesn't have to include horror movies. That's gonna be the fun of this. It can include really anything. TV movies are also in play. The only thing that we put like a caveat on is you can't just ramble off the whole Halloween franchise. There's some rules and stipulations behind that, and we're hoping some movies lead to a nice debate. Everyone will get roughly about 30 seconds for their pick, and as a panel, we can choose to argue whether that movie is valid or not, or just say, yeah, good pick, and talk about the movie a little bit and move on. To save everyone time, we picked our draft order after this. Maybe it's up on the screen. I don't know how we're feeling about graphics right now, but it's going to go Brian, Yusuf, myself, and TJ. And, yeah, so... I don't know. You guys got anything to say before we begin this thing?
No, I mean, this is my first draft ever of any kind. I'm really excited.
Well, you were in the draft of Vietnam
and ask too many questions and be weird about the rules. So
you were in the Vietnam draft because you're Asian. So
well, I meant my first, sports draft. They called me. I was not really involved in that.
We saw the Flyover State of Film special, but I do have enough beer next to me that I will never rival last year's Halloween special. Don't watch that if you guys can. 4 hours long or something like that.
It had to be split into multiple parts. It was too much.
It was great. Yeah. Anyway, let's start this bad boy. Brian, you're on the clock.
Oh, man. Okay, so first round, first pick. There's so many top tier Halloween movies, but my whole thing about my 5 picks is I want them to be a strong, balanced group to represent the season. So I'm starting off with something for everyone, something the family can enjoy. The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Oh wow! Okay.
Wow.
Now, can I say something? That's a great pick, and I bet you all the Charlie Brown movies are great, like Charlie Brown Christmas. And is there a fall one? Well, it'll be Halloween.
There's a Thanksgiving. Yep.
Okay, I've never seen it.
Couple of them.
Never seen it.
What? I plan on watching this year. It's not Charlie Brown, but it has the same vibe. There's a Grinch Halloween special that is.
I have a Grinch DVD or so, or no, I think I have an old Dr. Seuss or Cat in the Hat DVD that I got when Harrison was a kid, and it's on that.
I have it on the DVD or the Blu-ray the Christmas special. I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch that this year. So anyway, great pick. I mean.
Yeah, this is what happens when this brings diversity, we got an old ass person in the group, and it's just like,
Charlie Brown. Old man here. He's gonna do weird old man stuff.
I just thought Charlie Brown was bald.
So
share that in common.
Yeah.
Having said that, though, I will take off the board. That's not my pick, but you can't bunch in Treehouse of Horrors. Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin is an actual special. It's
You can't be like all the tree houses together.
Yeah, that's
all the Roseanne episodes.
I just watched them.
The 30 Rock episode, which is really good. Anyway, Yusuf, who you got? You're on the clock.
I mean, I feel like I'm that team that didn't expect to have the best player in the board fall to them, and we're scrambling. We're on the phone. We're making decisions. We're like saying "fuck it," and I'm taking the man, the myth, the legend, John Carpenter, Halloween. You know,
what's there to say? I would choose that.
I mean, if it made it past the second pick, I would have been shocked.
It's literally the name of the movie. We have 2 Halloween days in it. The first one being when he was a kid, the classic clown costume that everybody loves. You got to see a lot of Michael Myers running around, a lot of tiny clowns running around. I prefer the clowns because it's kind of like a hint, like, hey, you know, and they usually have a knife. And then Michael Myers only hunts on Halloween, so.
Yeah. It's one of the few perfect movies.
Yeah, and it really does.
We can debate that. I just had this conversation with my son because I literally just wrapped up watching the original Halloween before I made this call, and I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I think it has a few pacing issues.
Oh, a movie in the 70s has pacing issues?
I'm telling you, if your movie clocks in, credits come up at an hour 28, and I'm like, you have pacing issues? You got a fucking pacing issue, okay?
I have an issue with the simple fact this is very nitpicky, but the movie with the climax of it, and like you would think back then, you're trick-or-treating all through the night, at least till 10, possibly 11, depending what neighborhood you're in. There's no kids after dark. Once dark
I was going to say, this is another thing, speaking of nitpick, and I said the same thing. Do the kids in this neighborhood ever knock on a door, or do they just run up and down the sidewalk in their costumes?
Screaming.
Like, I've never seen a kid actually knock on a door in a Halloween movie.
I always had an issue, if we're still going to issues of the movie, the ease of carrying that tombstone around.
Michael Myers is very strong.
But he's not a big guy. It's not Rob Zombie's Halloween, where he's like, steroids.
Oh, that actually is what Yusef meant. You said Rob Zombie.
Yeah, that's the one that
you said the master of Halloween, the best director. So you meant Rob Zombie.
The
acclaimed director of The Monsters.
Right, so 1978.
Anybody else watch The Monsters? I actually watched it.
No.
All right.
I will eventually.
Off the board, then. We're not talking about it.
We're not talking about it.
Hold on, I gotta change my picks because you guys can't discuss that one.
Because you were really gonna.
That was on my list. No.
A modern classic.
I thought it was Joe's pick.
Yeah. Ooh, I think I also got to go with my low-hanging fruit. I have enough of it in the frame. I'm gonna go Trick or Treat. It's a modern classic to me. Motifs, the Halloween motifs. It just gets me. It puts you in the right mood. And it is a good. It also does have. It's a little harder, but it does have that horror starter horror vibe where like you can kind of throw it on for any crowd, and they'll get a kick out of it.
Well, there's obviously
there's some boobs, a little gore, but it's not like Laura can handle it. We're gonna go to the theaters and see it. Hopefully,
I would say that's a good 2/3 of a movie. That's a great 2/3.
There it is.
When that guy drives that bus off with all them kids in it, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The kids come back, man. That fucking part's scary too.
Yeah.
I would say I watched this movie once, around the time it came out, and it was like okay. But then with Harrison, because he loves the horror, and this is like right up his alley. Who doesn't love a good anthology? Also, just perfect for the season. We went back to it, and we're watching, and like Yusuf said, like first 2/3 or so it connects with me, and then it always falls flat. And I felt the same. I was really sure that because it had gone like 10 years and become this beloved cult classic, I was like, I missed something. I'm a different person now. I'll go back and whatever it was. I love Krampus. I love King of the Monsters. Mike Flanagan kicks ass. So I'm like, I'm gonna go back and this is gonna hit on all cylinders. I just missed something. It just wasn't. No, couldn't do it again. Didn't really.
Mike Dougherty.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Flanagan's the guy who did Dr. Sleep. I'm sorry.
I watch it every year. I love it. I'm happy.
It's become a staple for sure. It's 100%. But also by design, they kind of put it in the name, and they really tied themselves. It's like when Christmas movies come out, it's like you're kind of cheating because you're always going to have a place at Christmas time, even if your movie's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? The Hallmark Channel nailed that. They're just like, You're home for Christmas, except they're all bad, but they still get the views, you know?
I have other anthologies that are not as good as this geared up if I need them in the fifth round. You know, there's a few out there that I think work. But anyway, TJ, you are now on the clock.
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to say Sam is a dope addition to the horror classic people, and then also the rules of it are awesome. The trick or treat, and it's fun thing to play. For me,
I got another Sam right here.
Of course you do. My number one pick, and this would have been my number one even if I had the very first pick. And obviously we're going to step out of horror. You guys heard me say this before. We even talked about the last one. E.T. is my number one pick.
Yeah, that's a good
simply
pick.
Because it's main part of the film, which really sets up the climax and everything takes place on Halloween. It probably has one of the best John Williams soundtracks entitled Halloween, which is obviously when E.T. first takes Elliot off the cliff and the whole thing. The fun part with Yoda and E.T. and then eventually George Lucas uses it in the future episode 1, 2, or whenever that happens.
I think the best score is when they get their United States citizenship, and then that's when the score really kicks off.
There's a part of me where it's like, should I dress up as the dad at the end of Mac and Me? But
yes,
I went with Dom.
You should.
But E.T., again, it's not a horror movie. Its main part, again, the whole movie isn't based in Halloween. It's based in the fall in California, and you get I don't know, just something about that. Again, the trick or treaters, California. When that scene happens, look like it's the best city or the town to trick or treat in. There's kids everywhere. Maybe there's a fight for candy at some point, but that has to be for me top Halloween tier movies based around Halloween.
Love that. Love that pick.
You get to pick again.
Oh wait, we're snaking this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can snake draft.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dang.
If we're snaking this is tough. Because I have two. Again, one's from the heart, which wouldn't necessarily be a great movie. And then one, me and Brian have talked about this before, and I don't know if I can pick it. The Halloween rules are a little off for me, but I'm just going to go with it. Halloween 2.
No.
I can't.
He can pick it, right? He hasn't picked any Halloween movies from that timeline. That's
okay. I guess we didn't define
if I can, I have a follow up, which is perfect.
No. Go.
I think that's what we talked about. We said
you
can pick one per. You can pick a Halloween movie from a certain timeline. So Halloween 2 is part of that Halloween 2, H2O Resurrection line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And actually, technically, Halloween 2, 4, and 5 and 6 are those all the same line too?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Halloween 4 a sequel to Halloween 2?
I would say after Halloween 2 and excluding 3, you're getting in Cult of Thorn territory.
Yeah.
So are you saying 4, 5, and 6 are separate from 2?
No.
Okay.
2 to 6 are the same, I would say.
2 to 6 are the same. But if you picked 4 and you hadn't picked any yet, you'd still technically be safe because that would be your first pick from the Thorn.
Yeah,
trilogy.
I can pick 4.
Right.
I'm not going to.
No, you're going to pick 5 because you love Tina. She's your favorite horror movie character of all time.
I'm going for Halloween Resurrection because I'm on the clock.
I'm picking the producer's cut because I'm a nerd.
It's the only reason I pick Halloween 2. Again, this is another argument against the first one. The timeline seems a little jacked, right? Because Laurie gets the whole thing happening with them, and then when she's in the hospital, there's an entire scene with Loomis, Ben Tramer, there's kids trick-or-treating everywhere. Eventually, Ben Trainer gets hit by the car with the ambulance and whatever happens with that. It's kind of weird. But for me, it's more Halloween-based. Obviously, you have everyone in the hospital, and the whole part why the hospital is so skeleton crude is because of Halloween. There's a big part, and then they have their own little Halloween side stories inside the hospital. So I think it's more of a Halloween movie than Halloween because, you get Loomis scaring kids and shit like that. It's... Because obviously, when we see the first Halloween, there's nobody in the streets of Ghost Town. You got 2 little kids running around screaming that there's a killer, and nobody's responding to him. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So Halloween 2.
Gotcha.
It's a good pick.
Thank you.
Joe.
So with my pick, I feel like this is when any draft gets hard, right? You're enough's off the board. but I have picks. But do you want to waste them at this time? And
Will somebody get them if I don't pick them now?
and I think I want to go with. Oh man, this is. I gotta call the people.
It's a nail biter. This is a nail biter. Joe's really.
You know what? I'm gonna take Paranorman off the board.
Oh
Fuck!
Fucking hey!
I really enjoy that movie.
I couldn't remember if that was. I watch it every year, and I couldn't remember if it was Halloween or if it was Thanksgiving because they're pilgrim zombies. So I was like,
Halloween.
I think
but it's actually happening on Halloween.
Yeah.
I more associate Halloween like with like children's stuff too. That like my brain goes like, oh, I want that feeling. That's like where I got the trick or treat and Paranorman. So yeah, that is just a fun anytime the claymation's beautiful. It's like a perfect Halloween animated film. So
and it's got a little bit of a scariness to it.
yeah, it has a bit of a spook to it.
I mean, hard to argue. Probably one of my favorite kids movies of the 2010s. It's really great.
But
I can't even think.
So Yusuf, you're on the clock.
Well, I wanted Paranorman, and I thought you would go this route, but I'll just take it, even though I don't love this movie, but it is a fucking Halloween movie through and through. It's Hocus Pocus, like.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know.
Okay.
Brian's gonna.
You know, it's 100% based on Halloween. Everybody's dressed up. There's the parties. There's the kids wanting to be big, share time with their big brother, but they want to trick or treat. That whole bunch of tropes. And we got witches. We got Salem. We got zombies. It's the whole deal.
That's become the Halloween movie.
And especially with the resurgence with the sequel. I mean, the sequel was born out of public demand, and just like trick or treat has become a staple of Halloween stores, so is Hocus Pocus. Blankets and pillows and stuffed animals and stand-ups.
Is one of those weird. Everywhere. Hocus Pocus is one of those weird ones for me. Where like I think as a kid it was like, oh, there's that movie that comes around on Halloween and it's so much fun, and then it kind of gets pushed back, and then I forget about and I remember it because I like that shit, but then you forget about it and it'd come around. They didn't have the VHS, but it could float around. And then it got so popular the last like 5 or 10 years where like white women have kind of ruined it.
Yeah.
Well,
call me the basic bitch.
I think in all honesty, it's because the movie itself is just kind of mid, but like Bette Midler's really great. Like all the witches are actually really solid in it.
It's fun. It's fun.
There's cool effects. There's fun effects, and because it's for kids, it's like it resonates with people, and people grow up with it. And
there's
then
a
they're
talking cat.
They can't. They're nostalgic for it. They can't. We know all about being tied to something that we know is bad, but we still love it. I mean, the Halloween franchise we've just been talking about it.
Yeah, Doug Jones kills it as a zombie.
Too. I was going to say, the zombie in that, and
you got Gary Marshall too. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like it has like child version vibes of like Beetlejuice. Like it does this. It has the same energy.
If it falls right in there with like you're gonna have the people that love it and watch it every year, you're gonna have the people that hate it, but it's gonna fall into the Christmas story like it's an actual thing.
A staple,
Was it Fox Family or ABC Family when that first started? The 31 Days of Halloween shit. Hocus Pocus was their main tag for it, and then that's for my that was probably when I was like 12, 13ish when that started. So like that's when it became a resurgence for everybody, and everyone's like Hot Topic, Hocus Pocus this. So
yeah, Hot Topic owes a lot of money to Hocus Pocus and Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, they've the White Woman's Paradise.
Hey, make sure that everybody's writing down their picks.
I have them.
That way.
I got them.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
writing them down.
Writing down your own. Do I got to keep track of everybody's?
I do want to.
No, yours.
I'm gonna put a screen on this. This beer tastes like chemicals, so I'm gonna move on to my next pumpkin beer because I don't want to.
Okay, all right. You got to watch out. Pumpkin spice is one of those things like you get the wrong company. The Coffee Mate pumpkin spice cream are real chemically too. I don't like it.
Very chemical. This is an atomic pumpkin.
Oh, that sounds like
shit your pants.
Be the same, yeah.
Sounds
All
much
right,
better.
Brian. Next up,
But I got this
Okay.
cool
back-to-back picks.
Back-to-back
Brian,
picks.
you're up.
Okay, so
You're on
my
the clock.
second pick. This might come as a shock to you. This was the one rivaling my first to be my first pick, not Halloween 1978, which I thought was obviously the front runner, but I still wasn't. It was not in my top 2 to pick. My choice, and I am pulling from the franchise, but I'm taking Halloween H2O. It's got great 90s horror vibes. Like it's like Scream, but for Halloween. So you got that going for it. It's got that feel. I think that it's standalone enough that even if you've never seen the other Halloweens, you could get what the movie's about from the movie itself. Like, and it still would work. And I think it represents a different type of Halloween that you don't see
Halloween
in those
3?
movies, which is teenager Halloween.
Mhm.
Parties with candles and making out and eating junk food and watching scary movies or whatever. And it's like, I think that's represented really well. And I just really love it. And
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I would argue, like, it feels like compared to the other Halloweens where you get that town vibe feeling, this one feels very isolated since it takes mostly
and I'm
in
glad
that.
you brought that up. I
school.
actually am a fan of that. It's part of it ties into. It's just a personal thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But I like the different setting. It's the same reason I like Child's Play 3. You know what I mean? They got like they take you to a different place, and you are trapped with Michael. Whereas usually you have the whole town to get away, or maybe the cops would be there or something. But like, or there's somewhere to run to. You're literally in a compound on a mountain, kind of. It just like tightens up the story even a little bit more.
I've never put those two together with Child's Play 3 and H2O, where they are isolated in basically a school, a private school, essentially. Damn, that's good. But I was gonna say also with it wouldn't be as effective either if they all went on that trip. It's great because there's only four kids, 2 adults, a security guard, and like maybe that 1 or 2 delivery driver who shows up just for the
and
kids.
LL Cool J's fiance on the phone.
Fiance on the phone.
Writing the fucking love book or sex book.
Making fun of LL Cool J's writing. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
That's a great fucking pick. I like it. Now
you get third.
Now I get a third pick. Okay, this is where it gets tough because now it's like what order I've got. I got time. All right, because I said I wanted balance, and I got a kids movie in here, and I got classic from the franchise Halloween movie in here. Now I can take another diversion. I'm gonna delve into an action movie, and I'm gonna do The Crow.
Fuck!
It literally takes place on Devil's Night. It's like the Halloween Eve movie. I make a point to try to watch it on Devil's Night if I can. It's obviously, I mean, been a staple of costumes for sad boys for generations. Like the goth emo skinny teen dressed as the Crow is a staple of Halloween as much as the kid in the Ghostface mask.
Hey, check out that episode of Flyover State of Film where we talk about the Crow.
Yeah, exactly. Which means I won't effuse about The Crow. We all have. I just think it's something that people might think about, and there's not a lot of action movies that are Halloween based. And like I said, I'm looking for balance in my picks. I want 5 movies that are all Halloween, but span.
Next, you're gonna go with a nice little rom-com.
Maybe I am.
I don't know why Brian is like
Halloween rom-com, and I'm there, baby.
Brian is like hitting his chest like he's so diverse. I also have a classic Halloween movie and a kids movie. I think everybody went the same
you went
route.
after me. So
I love kids and kids movies.
No, don't say that with your glasses.
I was gonna say your costume and those words don't go together.
Yusuf, you are on the clock though.
This is not okay. Fine, diversity. This is not.
That's just my personal thing that I decided to do. I didn't say you had to do it.
No. That's my picks. So this movie, the reason why I picked it is, it takes place on Halloween, but the thing that everybody remembers from it and the most iconic sequences take place in Halloween, and that is Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko with Frank the Bunny.
I want to boo you.
Why?
I feel like Yusuf is doing the Moneyball version of this draft where he's picking like
to get on base.
Safe movies to get a very safe pick.
Call me Jonah Hill. We're gonna win the fucking
World Series. Trying to
Series.
appeal to fucking a 17-year-old girl at Hot Topic who's like, I paint my nails black.
Hey, man.
Do you
I
guys
paint my
like
nails
my
too.
Iron Maiden t-shirt? I have like 4 I know like 5 songs.
And I have a pug too, man. So
Yeah,
I'm
like,
You have a pug.
I-
I mean, you're on it.
I'm hitting
I'm
1,000. Okay.
not a Darko fan. It is.
I like it. I don't pretend that
I
it's like
think
the
it
best
still
movie
holds
ever
up
made.
okay. I even actually like I just rewatched the
Starto?
director's cut. I like a little more information about the time travel and stuff that he puts in the director's cut. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I
But yeah, like everybody identifies that movie with a Halloween costume. It's not a Halloween movie, but that's not the rules of this draft. It's movies with
But I mean,
Halloween in it.
it's costume party. It is on Halloween, right? I mean, it's that
Yeah,
counts.
it's a
the crux of the
costume
movie
party.
kind of takes place at Halloween.
And it's a good movie. Like it's blown out way out of proportion. It's like Fight Club, like that movie that you were 15, 14 years old and you thought you found cinema for the fucking first time, and ever since you've been claiming it's the best fucking movie ever made. Just it's a good movie. It's fine movie.
year being like, maybe, I mean, it's time for a revisit. Let's see if I like it now. Not for me.
Didn't you buy the special edition of Southland
you spent
Tales
money.
though? You have
Yeah,
no
'cause
fucking credibility here, dude.
Yeah, right. Because I'm an idiot. That's why.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh,
you
I'm
put
not.
money in man's pocket again.
It's fine. Him working at that Denny's.
It's
He
fine, man.
needs it.
Let it go.
He needs
It's
it
okay.
to fix Southland Tales.
How about you pick a next movie?
All right. I am gonna go with The Guest.
That's
That
a
was
good
on my
pick.
list too. That was my
Fuck,
other.
That was on
action
my list.
movie. Somebody else
Yeah,
picked it.
that's on my
He
list.
shows up on Halloween. It's
Great
kind
Halloween.
it's kind of a slasher.
Absolutely.
It has that, and he's
1,000% stuff.
he's fucking terrifying. Not Evan P. What's his fucking name?
Dan
Dan-
Stevens.
Dan Stevens. I don't know why.
He's a fucking chameleon, man.
Dude, he is terrifying.
Yeah, because he's also Boyd Holbrook. I bet you didn't know that.
He should play the Joker.
Oh,
He would be a
the
good
only
Joker.
role that matters for white men.
Oh,
Well,
that and
yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
So The
Yeah,
Guest.
Jeremy Renner, and then Evan
Yeah.
Peters, and then TJ.
I also what I really like about The Guest, with adds to that Halloween vibe, is clearly the score of it. It was inspired by that iconic Halloween score. It has a John Carpenter like
do it.
it has a John Carpenter synth through it, and there's
It
this,
also
like,
came out in like 2014 when every movie had
Yeah.
a synth sound.
and there's this like color palette to it. So The Guest, I'm going with The
Yes,
Guest.
they had also seen Drive. Yeah.
Oh, The Guest is Drive for horror fans.
Yeah, but better, honestly. I didn't mean to. I'm making a joke. I'm because we're doing a bit here. We're having a good time.
We're
But
having
I
some
actually do
banter.
prefer The Guest to Drive, personally.
I agree with that one. I'm all on board.
TJ.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So far, straightforward draft.
I could go a couple different ways with this one. Like, do I want to be like Brian and do a kids movie? Do I want to be like you
You
said?
already did E.T. You already did a kids movie.
That's a
true, you did.
family movie. It's different. You're right. All right,
I have
so
a ton of kids.
Right, it's for all ages.
this is another one just for me. I don't think anyone's going to pick this one. Maybe Brian. This one takes place all around Halloween, has a very specific Halloween party in a graveyard, or not a graveyard essentially. And the scariest kid bully that I would say in film in a while, and also one of the great actors. But Pet Sematary 2, Edward Furlong's he's not the great actor I'm talking about.
How does
I
that
can't name
count?
off the top of my head.
I don't know Pet Sematary that well. Does anyone do you have a little more information of how that counts towards our Halloween?
So the entire the whole thing takes place.
I don't think I've ever seen Pet Sematary 2.
What?
I know I have because it's got Clancy. It's the one with Clancy Brown and Edward Furlong. I don't remember it that well.
You know what? We'll
I'm
trust
more
TJ.
familiar
That's
with
on
Pet
us.
Sematary.
Well, I mean, it's about Edward Furlong moving into a new high school in the middle of 2 days before Halloween. One of the big scenes is them at Pet Sematary on Halloween. And the kid that I'm talking about, Bully, is from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's the middle brother, but he just has that bully face. You've seen him in films before, where he tells a story about Pet Sematary, and they mention the very first one, and then Clancy Brown gets murdered that night and comes back, and And then it all takes place with like someone gets murdered with a giant truck that has pumpkins in it that gets turned over and crushed in the car. But for me, it's just one of those Halloween movies that I always play during Halloween. No trick or treat, nothing like that. But that's my Halloween thing.
I'm into it.
Check it out though if you haven't. It's a fun one. It's just again Clancy Brown, good murders, and a fun little just Halloween horror flick.
We're into it, baby. I think that is a good pick. Never seen it.
No, say that again because you yawned during it. I want to be believable.
That is a good pick, and I like the creativity of it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, I'm up.
No, wait, I gotta.
Does you double up?
Right? Oh yeah, you double up. My bad, Pete.
What?
All right, well I'm gonna go with my next pick, which is another family-friendly film, and again, no one picked this one, but it's got Christina Ricci in one of my favorite roles, Casper, baby.
It's on my list.
Oh, great pick. I feel like you can't have Halloween without Casper on a list.
No, it's got the scene with
on my list.
Can I Keep You? It's got the music.
Much like Hocus Pocus, it also has creepy child love in it. I don't know everybody's obsessed with kids and like when they have sex and first relationships.
I was a kid when I watched it.
I died without ever getting it on with Christina Ricci.
It's kind of weird thinking back. I know we're talking about a Casper, but it's kind of weird thinking back about Hocus Pocus and the other kids being like, "You're still a virgin." They're all supposed to be like 16.
Yeah, right.
But it's got Bill Pullman, and like right after I saw Independence Day, and I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to see him in this one. And it's just when he becomes a ghost, and then Stinky Fatso Stretch.
It's actually Bill Pullman.
That's what I just said, right?
You said Paxton.
Fuck. In my head, I was like Pullman the whole time, like Pullman. And then who's the main villain woman?
Kathy Moriarty.
Yes,
is her name, the actress.
So fucking good. The little guy.
She is awesome in it, and it's really a funny little. It's one of those movies that like is the nexus of a bunch of little like fan universes because you see like the Ghostbusters exist in that universe, and like that one priest from SNL or whatever is there, and like.
And it has good special effects too for the time that they made it. It holds up.
And you know what? I don't know when movies stopped putting in a Rube Goldberg breakfast machine, but we need to bring that back. It was in like every movie in the 80s and 90s, and now they just abandoned it. Bring back the Rube Goldberg breakfast machine.
I know it's not.
Back to the Future is the best one.
I know it's not in that movie, but don't you see like it should be in like Mr. Mom?
Right?
Like, yeah, I got breakfast for you, kids.
Something Mr. Mom should have attempted that failed, you know?
Dude,
I always ask that, and I almost watch it, but I never do.
I just covered on Fear, it should be the last episode before this.
Mr. Mom, that's weird.
The Fly 2. And I feel like that when he's a kid, he's making those Goldberg type machines. It's not in the movie, but he wears the fucking Wayne Zelinsky like bucket hat thing that like has all the phone goggles and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with it. I'm just plugging my other episode.
We're on your show, but be sure to plug your show.
I'm on. Speaking of plugging my show, we're gonna go with one of the highest viewed episodes of Flyover State of Fear. Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Terminator, featuring me.
That has a Halloween argument, but no. Season of the Witch.
I don't think it's Halloween enough.
I just wanted to plug myself.
Yeah, Season of the Witch. Has nothing to do with witches. Well, it does a little bit.
That motherfucker is so horny.
They actually
are.
I
just watched the
like Celtic
movie.
Witches. That's like the whole deal, right? Stonehenge and stuff.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, they're making a mask for Halloween. That's pretty fucking Halloween.
I am I completely love that movie. I have its flaws because it can do two things. I enjoy it and I fucking laugh at it. Love the mask element of it. I keep talking about vibes in it. It captures that Night of Halloween vibe that all the other movies do capture as well. And it's super silly. Like it's one of those ones where like I want the ridiculousness. I'd rather it be dumb the way it is. Try to make fucking sense of like what's actually going on.
Well, it's like, and also like that movie has a couple of the movies we've all picked where like when I was a kid, it scared me because kids die or kids' lives like
the mask and the
his head becomes just a pile of bugs and shit.
And the parents just sitting there and they're
I
like
was,
dead also.
you know, I hadn't seen that movie for so fucking long, and you know that the three masks and the kids tend to be like the go to like imagery. I don't know why I always thought that the mask made them into killers and they would kill the parents.
That would be more fun. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
But when the bugs started to come out, and I was like, "What?"
I like when the laser comes out and blows the lady's mouth open.
That's the best death.
That's the best part, right? That shit's crazy.
Marge Fetterman or something.
Just like
her face is all, her lips are all peeled back.
That's one of those movies that, like, yeah, it just has those moments, and there's no sense to it. You know.
And it also it did the classic thing, like, where's Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Thing.
So
they play the movie.
He's in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Yeah, he's in the movie because they play the movie.
That's actually smart.
So it's like an alternate universe where Halloween is a movie in their universe.
It's our world. It's the real world, man.
Oh,
what's a town it takes place in? Is it like a Haddon
It's in like California. It's like in just like,
Ponce, Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's in California because they mentioned.
So anyway, Yusuf, you're back on the clock.
So, like Donnie Darko, this movie is not Halloween, but the go-to image of this movie is the Halloween. Well, one of the go-tos is the Halloween sequence, and that's the Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
We got Johnny as the skeleton, and we got one of the best fucking costumes ever made, the shower, which is...
You were the skeleton for...
I was actually the skeleton for our first...
very first Halloween episode.
The skeleton, that was one of the most shitty fucking costumes that I've ever made in my life, but, you know, we made it work.
It's a classic.
It was.
But yeah, like, it also, like, adds to, it's kind of like very similar to Donnie Darko in the sense that it's just like high schoolers trying to, you know, have fun, drink, have cool costumes, smoke weed in the bathroom. But it's this one, like Donnie Darko was more house parties, more you know,
teen,
adult-ish. This one's more high schoolers in high school functions. Back home we used to have them as well. The school sponsored parties. And everybody would like really look forward to like displaying their new costume that they've been thinking since the last Halloween. And that one really encompasses it. But like if you're not dressed up as Taekwondo or karate, you're dressed up as the skeletons from the Karate Kid. So that movie really is embodied
Bones are their money.
Halloween.
Bones are their money.
Yeah, the bones is where the money's at, baby.
In the movie with costumes.
So perfect, great pick.
I don't know. I'm killing it. I'm in the zeitgeist with Cobra Kai, with Hocus Pocus 2,
and Donnie Darko,
the Halloween remake, and you know Donnie Darko. I guess that was not in zeitgeist. I messed with
that. Not zeitgeist here.
You're back on the clock, Brian.
I'm back on. This is 4, right? This is number 4.
We're at 4, and then it's our last picks. Unless you guys want to do a
4
6.
and 5, and if we want to go a 6 bonus round, I mean, I guess we can see. We can see how we do. All right. So this is probably my most tenuously connected to Halloween. In fact, I didn't even notice it was connected to Halloween. I actually had it pointed out to me recently.
It's a great pick,
but it's so
really
inherently Halloween because it's horror, but it's kind of
somebody has to point it out to you. That's so much in.
Not really though. It's just the fact that I had never really known for sure. I just never really thought about it, I guess. But it's just like it's the perfect thing, and I wanted to get. We talked about horror anthologies. I thought horror anthologies need to be represented on my Halloween for balance. I'm going with Creepshow, the original Creepshow. The wraparound is really just the kid with the magazine and stuff, but it's got our buddy Tom Atkins as his abusive dad. and he has a pumpkin in the window, and to me, that's good enough for me, baby. That's as
Is
much
that
What
good
if,
Halloween.
what
enough?
if it's
Because you were the
Thanksgiving,
one
though?
being like, I'm gonna hold you to a standard. You can't include
Okay,
this.
well then hold me to a higher standard. What do you want from me?
Yeah, I don't know if like there's no
It's-
costumes, there's no trick or treating, there's no
Nothing at
It's
all.
a
huh?
scary movie, though. Doesn't have to. I mean,
no.
put that apart.
We-
But
I
You
think
don't
I,
think-
I think this is gonna be the first official veto of the
let's bring
entire
it to a
cast.
veto this
vote.
pick just because a guy who's got what other time of year is it where he's got a pumpkin sitting in his front window? Come on.
Thanksgiving.
No,
He's a basic white bitch.
jack-o'-lantern. It's carved pumpkin.
He's
But
lazy.
it's just in the one story.
or me around
It's in
Christmas.
the
when I
whole.
put
It's
them
the
on my bed.
wraparound for the whole movie.
I keep my Christmas lights till like February, dude. It doesn't mean it's Christmas.
All right, well, if you say so.
I was.
That's okay. That was my most tentative pick, like anyway. I didn't, I like.
I think it's because you only set it up that way. I don't
Do you
think
want to bring
anybody
it to a
else would.
vote? You want to bring it to a
No,
vote?
no, I don't have to. I got plenty of movies. I
All
can
right,
put-
pick
I
another
got
one.
all
You're
the
going
movies
4
in
and
the
5
world.
anyway.
I got all the movies in the world. In fact, I have another Halloween movie. It is a anthology. It definitely takes place on Halloween, no questions asked, and it will satisfy that kind of starter horror, but like not kid stuff, not like what Great Pumpkin is, middle of the road. I'm talking about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark from
That was
did
my
not
last
like
movie.
that movie. 2018.
2019, 2018.
Yeah.
When did that come out?
17.
Was it
3 years ago.
Is it as good as the books? Probably not, but is it a pretty solid horror anthology for people just getting into horror? Absolutely, which is exactly what the books are. It definitely embodies that spirit. It's got its own creepy, kind of turn on the visuals from the books. I like the way it did its best to adapt the very specific art style of the books. And it's got some young actors who I like and who have popped up in some other things that I enjoy.
good stuff.
I actually like that pick a lot. I need to think.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, I thought about it. It's on my list.
I would have gone because the same setup, same concept. I would have gone Goosebumps over myself.
I thought about this. Is the first Goosebumps movie a Halloween movie,
think
or
so.
it's just the second one?
I think it's not. I'm gonna say it's not. The second one is literally called Haunted Halloween.
Right, I know the second one
The
is for
first
sure. I
one-
couldn't remember about the
The
first.
first one, I mean, it like fits that tone, but it isn't. I think it's in the camp of like the Frighteners, where like because it's the start of the school year.
It certainly feels like Halloween, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
the start of the
technically
school
Halloween.
year in the East Coast, so it has that fall look and the costumes and the because they do enter the nope, that's the second one. Never mind. The second
Yeah,
one
there
they
you
make
go.
all the masks and shit come alive. So
So that's your number 4, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
what's
that's
your
number 4.
5, Brian.
Number 5. I don't know if anybody's gonna have this, but I wanted to get a comedy on there. This one actually fits a lot of. It's a horror, it's a comedy, and it's a
You're
stoner
gonna pick
movie.
my movie.
I'm talking about Idle Hands.
Oh no, that's a good one. I didn't think of.
Great
Oh yeah, I
pick.
did.
Horror icon Devon Sawa, now starring in the Chucky series in his
I
third role.
Yeah, I just
Um,
love that they keep bringing him back.
I know, it's so funny. He's got, he does a great physical performance, which then transfers to a great physical performance from the hand actor once it's separated. They're both really good. Obviously, they got the Halloween dance. You got all the iconic zombie makeup on Seth
Jessica
Green
Alba.
and Eldon. What's his name? Jessica
God
Alba
damn it.
and her friend. I love when she gets diced by the fan, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not crawling through all this amber or whatever." Such a good line.
Still,
But anyway, Idle
TJ
Hands.
fucking froze, and it looks so goddamn creepy.
I'm still here. You can't hear me?
No,
No,
He's
you're frozen.
I
so
gotta take a
Your
fucking
picture's
screenshot of that.
frozen.
You look so scary from
You're
the
very
so
Dahmery.
fucking creepy.
Like, your
My
eyes
God.
are perfectly lit open.
I'm like trying to think about
You're
Jessica
staring
Alba in
through
her
my
angel
soul.
suit, and
I'm
he's just
mad.
like,
I'm mad because you got my pick. That was my 5th pick. Damn it!
I can't
No.
believe that I got it then.
no, but because it was kind of like a late round pick for sure.
That's
You
my
said
I
what
definitely
do you,
didn't think anybody else was going to pick it.
I was gonna
that would have
pick
shocked
Idle
me if
Hands.
TJ would have picked it. I'd be like, "Oh, damn, I'd scramble."
What are you looking at, Yusuf?
I thought Brian was gonna pick it because we share a love. I think Joe also shares a love for this movie. think it's one of the best like kids horror movies made in the last 10 years. The clock with the house with the clock in the walls.
Yes, I love that fucking movie.
That movie is fucking amazing. Jack
De
Black is
facto
awesome.
third Goosebumps movie, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Like Jack
Yeah.
Black trilogy, right there.
Yeah, Jack Black really. It takes the climax is on Halloween night. It has witches, it has ghouls, it has horror, it has great practical effects.
It's
Jack
Eli
Black
Roth's best movie.
It's
Yeah,
Eli Roth's
Eli-
best movie by a lot, actually.
A surprising Eli Roth movie. The dude from Twin Peaks is a great villain in it. Yeah, it's a fun movie.
Over TJ, it's freaking me out, man.
It's fucking freaking me out.
It is.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's actually
Creepy.
perfect for this episode.
Creeping.
Yeah,
It's better than
it really is.
It's better than my.
You put it on
failed,
pause so we could go touch up his skin suit.
It started to crack, and he's like, "Wait, let me." But yeah, that's my fifth pick. I feel like it really rounds my picks very well.
Very good.
Joe,
Yeah. So 5. I feel that there's such a wide variety of options. Like where do we go? Do I go horror? Do I go kid? There's so many kids options. That's the fucking problem.
oh, TJ's back.
And
You love
I think I gotta go with deep down in my bones who I am as a person.
Don't do it.
One that
Don't.
deserves to be on this list.
Don't fucking do it.
One that everyone needs. You know, I'm just.
I think I know what he's gonna pick.
Don't do it.
Ernest Scared Stupid.
That's not what I was gonna guess.
What were you thinking?
I had it right there.
Oh,
Well, you had on my list. but I thought-
absolutely unwatchable.
Dude, that's a core memory for me as a kid
That's the
watching that.
thing. The fucking trolls. It had like the design by the Chowd brothers of the trolls.
Hell
The
yeah.
fucking
That's
Miak.
the only good thing about the movie is the design of that troll with the two noses
Miak.
and shit.
Shout out
What,
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And
What
Critters.
what did you think? TJ, I thought we were right in line with what you thought I was gonna pick.
I thought you were gonna go to the Happy Madison way that I thought you were
Oh
gonna
no, I'm leaving that for you.
go. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I
Uh,
I
thought
almost picked that.
Huey was on the list.
I always
we'll
picked
do
that
a
one just
si-
to spite everybody here.
Let's do a 6th round.
So is
So,
that,
but-
is that 5 and TJ get his 5th
No,
pick?
TJ gets his pick. You are on the clock, sir.
Oh, well, I mean, at this point in time, we all know what's going to be. I can't say how much, you can't say enough how much I love what Adam Sandler is doing. Because if I had the amount of money that he did, I would do the exact same thing with you guys if I had the resources to make these fucking movies. And every once in a while, you get a fucking hit. And Hubie Halloween is the hit for me.
I'm still waiting on that once in a while.
I
I
love
love
TJ on this
Hubie
one. I enjoy Hubie too. It's stupid, and it's and the jokes are lowbrow, but something about it's just right.
He's
The
doing that
fall Halloween
that he always
setting.
does.
There's something
Yeah,
about
it is-
watching a
it's-
movie.
It's the
It's-
most Halloween out of all the movies. Well, this and Hocus Pocus, I feel like, but
There's something about
Hubie takes it over the edge.
There's something about watching a movie and seeing other characters in costumes that just makes me go, "Oh man, this is the best Halloween."
It's so good.
I love the I love how that movie also brought back like every cameoed like universe from the Happy Madison, like Ben Stiller's Happy Gilmore, fucking crazy orderly shows up.
Brings back all.
He brings back everyone. Anyway,
Bob
all
Snipe.
right.
But
If you guys want to do an honorable, we can do a 6th round. I feel like we have time.
You can do a 6th round or just honorable mentions. What do you want to do?
Your call, your
Jesus.
show.
we're doing the 6th round. I'm Snake and I'm first.
Let's do 6. Let's just do 6, and that's like honorable mention, and then you can rattle.
So then it'll
off.
snake back around to me at the end, and then we'll be done.
Yeah. So TJ, give us your 6.
I mean, it's the obvious pick here that I'm sure everyone else has on their list. Double Double Toil and Trouble, the Olsen twins fucking Halloween classic. What? Did you want me to pick
I wasn't
fucking
allowed to
Twitches
watch
or something?
that because of in my group home.
Because you were 3.
God damn it. Yeah, that's it, baby. That's my pick. I'm sure
All right.
you guys have that. Go ahead.
I used to watch that movie
Off the
all
board.
the
Now what am I gonna take?
I watched that movie all the fucking time at my cousin's house because his sister and they only had Olsen Twins VHSs, and I was like, well, it's Halloween. I love Halloween. I was like 4. With the little person. All I remember from it is the little person who was also on Full House a lot.
Joe.
Yeah. All right. So we're back.
You're back.
What?
I'm just trying to think. I feel like I like how well rounded
My connection is garbage.
I think
Well, if you like your picks and you don't want to do a 6th round, technically TJ's pick barely counts, so we could just stop. We can still stop at 5.
We're gonna do 6, and I'm gonna choose one that has another one that has become a full blown staple. We've all seen it. I think we've all enjoyed it. Funhouse Massacre.
Oh, that did make it to my list.
Pure Halloween film. You know, it's fun camp at the end of the day.
It's definitely a good concept as far as like bring together archetypal kind of horror movie icons, but nothing branded, of course.
No, and it's just fun. That's all. For sixth at the end of the draft, I'll take my chances with the fullback. Yusuf, what's your 6th pick?
I legit, my entire list is depleted.
He ran out of safe picks. He's gonna.
I know what you
come
can
up with
pick.
something.
No, but I am gonna pick just because I do love it too, and it's the Goosebumps. The Goosebumps. Haunted Halloween. If we have to go like pure Halloween, I think Goosebumps 1
both
has Halloween sequences.
I can't remember,
but I can't remember, so I'm gonna go the second one with the puppet. Can fucking remember the name right now.
They do a better tribute to Season of the Witch in that than there's in Halloween Kills.
Yes, 100%.
Because they do like variations. It's not like, hey, here's the thing you remember. It's like you have to have some insight into the holiday, into the you have to know.
But yeah, it's kind of like the same spiel as Clock on the Walls. It's just like solid, fun, really engaging movie that doesn't feel like it's talking down to the kids, but it also the adults are like very engaged and entertained by not only the nostalgia, but even if you have no connections to the books or to the series, it's just a well-made, fun movie, and it takes place in Halloween.
Perfect. Brian, what's your 6th?
First pick, final pick. Here I come, baby. I'm bookending this motherfucker. This one's probably again a little more tentative, but for reasons that will become more clear when I tell you what it is. But I don't think it can be denied. Unlike with Creepshow, I don't think you can possibly deny that this movie doesn't have 100% pure Halloween vibes through and through. And I'm going with Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow.
I love it.
Yo,
I don't think. I mean, like I said, Halloween didn't exist in the form that we think of it when that the era that movie is set in. But it's obviously harvest time during the movie.
Perfect. Great draft, guys. I'm just gonna rattle off an honorable mention or two, just because this is fun to talk about.
Yeah, if anybody's got anything left.
I think anyone's just looking for. Earlier, I made a joke about like a rom-com Halloween movie that doesn't exist. There is a really good children's version of that called Fun Size that Nickelodeon made. Starring Victoria
when I
Justice.
said I might have one on my list, I was talking about Idle Hands as a rom-com.
Johnny Knoxville's in it. Fun little Halloween movie of like coming of age Halloween movie. I thought Yusuf would definitely pick Mean Girls.
No, that one. I think that one I associate more with like Christmas, like the Christmas dance.
It's multifaceted.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
I feel like all of our lists, like it's weird. Like you would think more horror movies would be included. I gotta shout out When Good Ghouls Go Bad. That almost took place. Of
is that Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, it's a TV movie. R.L. Stein. It's Footloose, but with Halloween.
There's one I wanted to shout out. I can't believe that TJ didn't pick Spaced Invaders, the one with the aliens.
Fuck, that's a great one.
Yeah, that would have been a solid pick. Way better than
yeah. Fuck you and
actually.
Hooey Halloween, huh?
And,
also, remember that The Predator, the worst Predator movie,
Oh yeah,
it takes place on Halloween.
Hell House LLC, Tales of Halloween. If you're looking for a trick or treat knockoff, that's pretty decent.
Funhouse Massacre.
Funhouse Massacre. I edit that.
Batman: The Long Halloween.
Yeah, they made an animated.
Yeah, the animated movie's not nearly. Just read the book though; it's much better.
Batman: The Short Halloween.
I put it on my list. I almost included it, but I feel like there's nothing in Halloween for it. The Fright Night remake.
No, it's just not Halloween in it.
Yeah. Anyway, any other honorable mentions, guys?
No,
Buffy
actually,
the
I think it's
Vampire
like when
Slayer?
you take out the idea, like it had to find some connection to Halloween. It did make it harder, you know.
Because we could have sat up here and rattled off, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th.
Yeah, like any fucking loser. In
Rocky
the,
Horror
the
Picture
internet.
Show, even though it takes place in November.
Beetlejuice. I wish there was an outlet to put that on it because it just seems prime.
There's movies that feel like Halloween, but you can't.
Ghostbusters.
The Frighteners obviously would have been one of my picks. Like,
So anyway, guys, we'll post them up. We'll do a poll. We'll share in our group chat and have some fun.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Vote for this guy.
Yeah, stay frightful, everyone. Where can everyone? You can find everyone at Flyover State of Film on their Twitter handles. Get fuck off.
Hercules.
Welcome to Flyover State of Fear.